ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरुवे गौरचन्द्राय राधिकायै तदालये कृष्णाय कृष्णभक्ताय तद्भक्ताय नमो नमः। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। संसार दुख जरदस्य पतितस्य काम क्रोधादिनक्रमकृकवलीकृतस्य दुर्वासनस्य निगृहीतस्य निराश्रयस्य चैतन्यचन्द्रमम देहि पदावलम्बम्। जयतां सुतपङ्गुर्मम मन्दमतिर्गति मत्सर्वसदाम्बुजो श्रीराधामदनमोहन। वृन्दाय तुलसी देवी प्रियाय केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्ति प्रदे देवी सत्यवते नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता। अपि चेत् दुराचारो भजते माम् अनन्यभाग साधुरेव स मन्तव्यः सम्यक् व्यवसितैः सह। We are hearing the commentaries of this verse, very powerful verse spoken by Krishna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. In this great battle called Mahabharata, Krishna is telling this to Arjuna. So, one should always remember that the apparently poor behavior of such Ananya Bhaktas is not to be imitated. One should neither criticize nor associate with them. See, now more details are coming up. One should neither criticize them nor one should associate with them. As it is said in Srimad Bhagavatam, Tejyasam na doshayam vane sarvabhujam yatha. This is a verse from the ending of Ras Leela. One should not imitate what Krishna is doing. One can think, oh, I am devotee of Krishna. He married 16,000 wives. I can marry at least 16 because I am following my Krishna. Krishna has residence with 100 million gopis. I can at least have 100 because I am following Krishna. He's doing, I'm also following same because I'm devotee of Krishna. No. Shukdev Goswami said, line of Ras Leela, Tejyasam na doshayam vane sarvabhujam yatha. That means those who are Tejyavan. Tejyavan means effulgent, brilliant, effulgent, pure devotees or pure personalities. Don't try to imitate them. Yatha Rudra Abdijam Visham. Just like Shiva, he drank poison. So if you want to imitate great personalities, if you want to imitate Krishna, can have 16,000 wives and 100 friends, then you also have to imitate Shiva by drinking not much, just at least 10 drops of cyanide. How many drops can you digest? 1, 2, 10, 5, or cup of cyanide? Not even 1 drop. And you're trying to imitate Shiva. Shiva can Bhagavatam. Mahadev can put his wife Parvati on his lap, embracing, and can speak Harikatha to the rishis. Shiva can open his third eye and can turn the Cupid to ashes. He's so strong. Shiva, imagine his wife embracing him in the middle of the rishis. They're all sitting, and Shiva with his wife embracing her, and speaking Harikatha. How is possible? Yatha Rudra Abdijam Visham. Just like Shiva can drink poison and nothing can happen to him because great personalities. So don't try to imitate great personalities. But what we have to do? Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, Yad Yadi Achara Shreshthas. Follow the footsteps of those Mahajans. Follow the footsteps of Mahajans. Not try to imitate Mahajans. Destruction is certain for those who criticize the behavior of Mahabharata, who externally may appear to behave improperly. That's not a proper style to have your wife on your lap and speak Harikatha. But somebody came. Somebody came and criticized Shiva. Who came? Chitraketu Maharaj. And he got cursed by whom? Parvati. And then he became Vritasur, demon. This is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. While Shiva was speaking Harikatha like this, Chitraketu Maharaj, who is godbrother of Shiva, that means Shiva worshipping Lord Sankarshan, and Chitraketu Maharaj also worshipping Lord Sankarshan, so they are godbrothers in one sense. So seeing this, one godbrother is joking, sarcastic, joking to Shiva. Because Shiva is also sarcastic, joking with Chitraketu Maharaj. But Parvati came in between and she cursed Chitraketu Maharaj and he became Vritasur, demon. Destruction is certain for those who criticize the behavior of Mahabharata, who externally may appear to behave improperly. That's their external, not their mood, internal mood. Just like Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj spreading the bones of fish around his hut, and he's carrying hookah like a drug, but he's just showing he's not smoking. So don't try to imitate them. Shibirvanga Thakur, he took his eyes off. Can we imitate him? Pundik Vidyanidhi, externally, he's showing he's behaving like a materialistic person with some comforts and luxuries around him, chewing betel nuts. And some girls are standing next to him, with golden spiton, and fanning him. So one can say, oh, he's not Vishnu. Shri Gadadhar Pandit said he's not Vaishnav. But seeing the external, don't get confused with the external concept. If he's behaving improper externally. What is the intent behind that? That matters a lot. What is the mood behind that? That matters a lot. Hmm. Why he was doing this? We cannot imitate them. They are great personalities. Otherwise, just like Mahadev drank poison, and if we drink poison, what happened? Nothing happened to Shiva. But if we drink poison, we will die for certain. Pranina mrityum dhruvam. No one can survive. Fire burns all substances, either pure or impure. Yes, fire burns all substances, either pure or impure. Suppose there is dirt, stool, urine, but sun is so powerful and effulgent. Sun absorbs. So what is the role? What is the sun is doing? What is his role? He absorbs that impurity, that contamination, and makes that ground pure. But after doing this, do the sun get any fault of purifying the ground? We'll have so much stool there, blood there, mucus there. No, sun is absorbing everything, but not getting affected by that. No spot on the sun of that absorbing contamination. These are the symptoms of a pure devotee. They absorb everything, but nothing happens to them. And they make purified. Pure devotees, they purify us. We are full of contamination. क्रोधादि नकृमकृ कवलीकृतस्य संसार दुख जलदस्य पतितस्य कामा क्रोधादि नकृमकृ कवलीकृतस्य दुर्वासनस्य निगडितस्य निराश्रयस्य full of lust, full of anger, contamination, ill thoughts, not doing anything right, always involved in sin and bad activities. And on the top of that, we are ungrateful. How we are ungrateful? For example, parents looking after children. They spend so much energy, time, money, emotion to protect the children, to protect the child, son or daughter. More protected towards daughter. But if son or daughter, anyone, getting so much affection from parents, getting so much love from parents, but still they are not even giving respect or not even helping the parents. How ungrateful it is. And we are expecting Krishna, the Supreme Lord, to help us. Just with small and simple examples. Ask yourself, we should ask ourselves, are we ungrateful to someone? Are we putting someone in trouble? Because of me, someone is in trouble. Anyone who helped me, anyone who served me, took care of me like a child, acting like a father, mother, brother, sister, and I'm acting mean and I'm acting ungrateful to that person, reactions will come for sure. Reactions will come. Maybe not now. Maybe now you're laughing, joking. But when reactions come, then one understands, yes, I did something wrong. I didn't help someone who really helped me out of the way. like my parents, like my brother, like my sister, like my grandfather or uncle, whoever it is. But when he or she is in any trouble, I just turn my face back. No, I have nothing to do with this because I have my own life. Let me enjoy my life. I have nothing to do. Very bad. What happens? Consequence comes. I mean, reaction comes with that. Maybe not now, maybe after a while. When someone will do this to you, then you will understand. Yes, I did this to someone. I did this to someone. Now I'm understanding. So, what to do? Don't be ungrateful and thankless. Feel grateful and thankful to anyone who's serving us, giving us love, affection, so much affection. Krishna is like this. No scarcity of love and affection. Always giving. But we are ungrateful to Krishna because we want to enjoy. In that enjoyment, we're forgetting that personality who was, who is, and who will always be affectionate to us. When we need money, he's supplying money. When he need relationship, he's supplying relationship. When he in any problem, he's always stand by. He always stand with us. Hmm. But when he needs some love and affection, no. I have my own boyfriend. I have my own girlfriend. I have my own parents. I have my own issues. I have my own brothers. I have my own sisters. Who are you, Krishna? I don't know you. Okay, wait and watch. Then Prakriti, nature, take revenge. Nature take revenge. Krishna's no. Parents cannot think bad about the children. Cannot. Even though how rude the children can be. But Prakriti, nature, she will not excuse. And when she get upset, then reactions come to us. So still it is not late. Still it's not late. Someone who helped us a lot, we should help that person. He helped us, she helps us in our difficult time. Now it's our time to help him or her in their difficult time. So destruction is certain. Destruction. You understand the word destruction? Destroying. Destruction is certain for those who criticize the behavior of Mahabharata, who externally may appear to behave improperly. My Gurudev very rude to me, and one day he slapped me. Improper behavior. Hmm. And by seeing this external behavior, backed up. No more bhakti. This is what Vishnu Chakur Thakur explaining in Madhurya Kadamani. Utsamai Ghan Tarala. Utsamai means in the beginning, so much utsa, enthusiasm. Yes, I will learn verses. I will chant 16 rounds, 32 rounds. I will do so much services. I will learn this. I will learn that. And Gurudev appreciating. Very good. Yes, very nice. And one day, hold the ears. You stupid. What you did? No, my Gurudev is not nice. Other Gurudev is nice. He never chastise or correct anyone. He don't even care what you're doing. But he's always on my case. Very specific. Why you have no tilak? Why you're not chanting? Why you're not doing like this? Every single detail. My Gurudev is not good. My friend Gurudev is very good. Why? He don't care what I do. You know, this is called by thinking like this, destruction for certain. Seeing the external behavior. Fire Fire burns all substances, either pure or impure, although it remains pure itself. Fire or sun, we say. Anything we put in fire, what will come? What will happen? Purifying. Fire purifies everything. Hmm. If anything put in fire, becomes purified. So, similarly, although externally the behavior of powerful Mahapurusha may appear improper, they always remain pure. That's the bottom line. That's the formula. They always remain pure because Ananya Bhaktas, Ananya Bhakt, they are one point in devotion to Krishna and they always engage in Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and speaking about Krishna. Always. Is Arjun, can we call Arjun a pure devotee or not? Yes or no? Arjun pure devotee? Oh, how come? He's killing so many people? How many people? Thousands of thousands. Killing his brothers, his uncles, his gurujans. How can we pure devotee? Not even abusing, but killing. Garuda come to Garuda came to Jamuna and taking the fish out and eating those fish. Is Garuda pure devotee or not? Then why are you doing this? She Bhrigu Rishi kicked on the chest of Lord Vishnu. Is he pure devotee or not? Gopi is abusing Krishna. You liar, devotee, always going to other gopis, sometimes mixing up with her, sometimes mixing up with her, abusing Krishna. Are they pure devotees or not? No. Criticizing Krishna. Yashoda Maya, twisting the ears of Krishna. She's pure devotee or not? Hmm. But the same thing Duryodhana is doing. He's abusing Krishna in front of everyone. And Sakhas also, the friends of Krishna in Vrindavan, also abusing Krishna. So it's not confusing. Then Duryodhana also have to be pure devotee. Yes, Kamsa also have to be pure devotee. Because Sakhas are also doing Krishna, huh? You don't know anything. Badaya. And jumping on the shoulder of Krishna and throwing him on the ground. That's external behavior. We have to go to better understanding with a maturity level to go with the internal mood of a person. Internal mood. Hmm. Srimad Bhagavatam describes that the sons of Marichi, who were the grandsons of Jagat Guru Brahma, had to take birth among the demonic species as a result of ridiculing Brahma's inconceivable behavior. You all know this. Marich got cursed by Brahma because Brahmaji, while he doing creation, he created his daughter, and Brahmaji is running after his daughter, and this Marich, they're saying, Father, what are you doing, running after your daughter? This improper behavior. And for that, what they have to go through? Demonic species of life. They become demons. Cursed by Brahma, you will not get liberated unless you get killed by a demon. And Kamsa, he killed the 6 sons of Devaki. Then they got liberated. But they were wandering in this demonic species of life every time. What to speak of perfected devotees? Now it's coming. More further details. Mara, you saying about pure devotees, we understand, but what about others? What to speak of perfected devotees? Even if the sadhaka of Ananya Bhakti is seen to sometimes act improperly due to previous habits, he should still be considered saintly because his action is accidental. Hear me again. Very important point. What to speak of perfect devotees, pure devotees? Even if a sadhak, a practitioner of Ananya Bhakti, one-pointed devotion, is seen to sometimes act improperly due to previous habits, he should still be considered saintly because his action is accidental. That's not his mood. He always spent time in hearing, chanting, reading, learning, preaching, taking care of devotees, helping them, serving them, very generous, good nature, polite nature. But accidentally, something happens. Accidentally, something happens in his life. He gets accused of uh, stealing some wealth. He gets accused of improper behavior to someone. That, oh, you are not devotee at all. Oh, bogus, nonsense, foolish. I will not speak to you. Then Krishna will not speak to you. Then you have to get reactions because this is what Krishna is saying. I'm not saying this. Read Bhagavad Gita. Then Krishna can't tolerate this. That's accidental. What does accident mean? You came from this roundabout, other car came from this roundabout, you didn't know, and bang. That's all. You were not aware of this. You were not wrong, you were doing good, something happened, clash. Because of previous life, bad samskaras. The nature what we develop is come from previous life samskaras. And sometimes these samskaras, they don't get destroyed. They are still there, inherent. I mean, in dormant, inherited but in dormant state. But sometimes it sprouts out. Sometimes it sprouts out. A person, for example, just one example, not related to anyone. A person who helped us through every of my good times and every of my difficult bad times. In good times, is always with me, bringing gifts for me, celebrating my birthday, or celebrating any occasion, Diwali, any occasion, Gurudev, celebration. good times and in difficult times also standing by with me. Uh, Always has been. But everything, if I see about that person, all positive, all positive, all positive, all positive, his quality, everything. Oh, one time what happened? One time I went to his house. He didn't even offer me a cup of water. How bad that person. And then took this so serious, I will stop speaking to that person. He didn't offer me a water. So just on this one point, all other good he done, all finish. This shows what? Your negativity. I'm so negative that I only see one negative in that person and I forgot all positivities because I'm negative. If I'm positive, then I will not even see one negative in that person. If I see 98 good in that person and only two bad things in that person, one who has this vision of, like eagle, eagle looks always towards flesh. Sitting on a tree of mango tree, eagle always look towards flesh. Eagle have no charm eating mangoes, just sitting on a branch of a tree, but looking here and there for flesh. Crow sitting on a branch of a tree, on a mango tree, will not eat mango. Crow will look the garbage. Where I get the garbage? Where I got the garbage? So 95% good, forget in just five things, or just one or two things we see in the life. This shows your, what do you call, your profile. So be positive. And how we get positive? When we have proper understanding of Krishna consciousness, the maturity level. Not just making bhakti as a fun. Yeah, it is something good because now I'm not doing sin, I'm doing something very good. Pious deeds. Is bhakti only this much? It's just on the platform of just doing good. Oh, doing good. No, it has deep meaning. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains on this wonderful verse, what we are hearing since yesterday, and we also heard the other day on Gita, Jayanti. Again, what to speak of perfected devotees? Even if the sadhaka of Ananya Bhakti, again, a sadhaka, practitioner of one-pointed devotion to me, is seen to sometimes act improperly due to previous habits. He should be considered saintly because his action is accidental. He is still considered to be saintly because his action is accidental. That's all. And Krishna said, you have no authority to overrule this because I'm saying this. Listen, I'm not saying this. I'm just reading what is written here. Krishna is specifically saying, I'm saying this because my authority is alone enough to say this. Hmm? What is that? Yes. From the word mantavya, the following injunction is indicated. There is a flaw in that person who does not consider him to be a sadhu. In this regard, my order alone is authoritative. Krishna is saying, my order alone is authoritative. Not your suggestion and not your order. because he's one-pointed devotee to me and I'm attached to my devotee. He's surrendering his time in hearing and serving me. Shravan Kirtanam Smaranam. So in other words, Krishna is giving us maturity to understand. So what to speak of perfected devotees? Even if the sadhaka of pure devotion, one-pointed devotion, is seen to sometimes act improperly due to previous habits, he should still be considered saintly because his action is accidental. This is the deep meaning of this verse. While commenting on the above verse, Srila Vishnu Chakur Thakur gives the same conclusion. Vishnu Chakur Thakur giving the same conclusion. And what is that? Shri Krishna is saying, a devotee who performs Ananya Bhajan means one-pointed bhajan, does not worship any other god or goddess, who does not take shelter of any other process such as karma, jnana, or yoga, other than my bhakti. That's it. He don't worship any other god, goddess. He is not taking any other process, karma, jnana, yoga, other than my bhakti, who does not desire anything besides my pleasure, and most of all, who knows me as the only master and as the supreme and engaged in bhajan of me. Such a devotee naturally has no taste for improper behavior. No taste. Raso varjam rasam seshtam. He has no taste for improper behavior. But if accidentally or by the will of fate, there is a discrepancy in his behavior, he should still be considered saintly. This is my special order. What Krishna is saying there. Krishna is saying, this is my special order. Vishnu Chakur Thakur is writing here. If any person disobeys it, he will incur sin. My God, Krishna, I'm in trouble now. Because moment I see something, I start shouting because this is my enjoyment. Yes, it's good. Something happened to him or her. Very good. Supposed to be like that because I have some jealous mood, have some envious mood. How he's doing like this? How he's going preaching? How he's doing that? Something happened to him. Very good. But then we have to be careful what Krishna is saying. Again, repeating. Krishna is saying, a devotee who performs one-pointed bhajan, Ananya Bhajan, who does not worship any other god or goddesses, who does not take shelter of any process such as karma, jnana, and yoga, other than my bhakti, who does not desire anything besides my pleasure, and most of all, who knows me as the only master and as the supreme, engages in my bhajan, in bhajan of me. Such a devotee naturally has no taste for improper behavior. Cannot do any improper behavior because he is mature. She is mature. But if accidentally or by the will of fate, there is a discrepancy in his behavior, he should still be considered saintly. This is my special order. If a person disobeys it, if I disobey the order of Krishna, I will incur sin directly to the order of Krishna. I'm trying to overrule his order. The reason such persons are to be considered sadhus is explained herein. It is because their resolve is proper. Understand? It is because their resolve is proper. In other words, they have ekantika nishtha, that means exclusive faith in me. Can you see? Can we understand how much Krishna is attached to his devotees? What we understand from this statement? He's so possessive. I don't know if this is a good word or not, but hope you understand. He's so possessive and he's so attached. And right in the beginning of this shloka, 9.30, 9.30 Bhagavad Gita. We should read this. Because exclusive faith in me. And right in the beginning he said, because attachment of Krishna towards his devotee is natural. Why? Not speaking about pure devotees whose attachment is spontaneous and natural. This is about practitioners who had just begun Krishna consciousness, who just start sacrificing some things, some relationships, just begin. Even for them, Krishna is so attached. This shows the superiority of Krishna. This shows the Bhakta Vatsal, affectionate nature of Krishna towards his devotees. Like, let me finish this. In this regard, Vishnu Chakur Thakur has commented on the following verses from Srimad Bhagavatam. So I was studying on the Gita Jayanti day, the verses of Bhagavad Gita and the verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, how they are related to each other. We heard so many verses like that, yes? How this verse from Bhagavad Gita is connected with which verse from Bhagavatam? 11.20, 0.27 and 28. So the words of Bhagavad Gita 9.30 and verse from Bhagavatam 11, 20, 27, 28. They are related. Because 9.30 Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. But this 11, 20, 27, Krishna is speaking to Uddhav. And both are what? Priya of Krishna. No. Krishna addressed Uddhav as, Krishna addressed Arjuna as Priyosmi. I'm giving you this knowledge because you are dear to me. And Uddhav, Krishna's Daita Sakha. Intimate friend of Krishna. Daita means intimate. So what is this word? Jat Shadho Mat Kathasu Nirvinna Sarva Karmeshu Duk Atman Kaman Parityagyo Api Anishwara Tato Bhajate Mam Shraddhalu De Nishchaya Jushmana Shatan Kaman Dukhordakam Cha Griham. So hear attentively what Krishna is saying here. If a person whose faith in hearing narrations of me has been awakened is unable to give up sense enjoyment. What is the first step? If a person whose faith in hearing my narrations of me has been awakened, that means the person is already, now this is not for an ordinary section of the society. For those whose faith has already awakened and one other person whose faith is already awakened and he is engaged in hearing narrations about me, Shravanam, for that section. Now this is not meant for pure devotees also. Why? Because the point is, the faith has awakened in me. Pure devotees has not awakened faith. Their faith is very condensed and something more than that. Understand? So these words of Krishna is not for ordinary section because their faith is not awakened and it is not meant for the pure devotees. Otherwise, why Krishna has to say, the faith has awakened in me? So that means clearly shows this is for practitioners, sadhakas. If a person whose faith in hearing narrations of me has been awakened is unable to give up sense enjoyment, so that doesn't apply to pure devotees. They have no sense enjoyment. And the desire for it is unable to give up sense enjoyment and the desire for sense enjoyment, even though he knows it gives misery. So mostly the verses we see the word he is mentioned, but it applies to she also. It's not only for male section. Don't think, oh, it's only he. That means, oh, I'm she. So it doesn't apply to me. It's equally for everyone. Sabe pumsam paro dharmo yatha bhakti dokshaje. The pumsam here means male and female together. Okay. So even though he knows it gives misery, he should, with a sincere heart, condemn his inability to give it up. That's so encouraging words of Krishna for practitioners like us. Again, hear attentively. If a person whose faith in hearing narrations of me has been awakened is unable to give up sense enjoyment and the desire for it, even though he knows it gives misery, he should, with a sincere heart, condemn his inability to give it up. Fie on me, what I'm doing. After hearing so much, after speaking so much, after remembering so much, after serving so much, I'm still addicted to my sense enjoyment. It can be gross and subtle, anything. I'm still sleeping 12 hours. I'm still addicted to so much eatables or anything, A, B, C, D, any kind of enjoyment. I'm still not like that. Oh, you doing this and that, very bad. Just one example. You eat cookies every day, 5 cookies, very bad. Before saying this, think for a while what I was doing. Just think before you say, did I eat 10 cookies earlier and is only eating 5? So that means I'm not authority. Mind your own anarthas, not mind your own business. Mind your own anarthas, first of all. And then look towards other anarthas, others anarthas. Krishna here specifically saying, I'm ordering this. Don't try to come in between. He should, with a sincere heart, condemn his inability to give it up. Sincere heart. Yeah, circumstances. Yeah, I did something wrong. Please, Krishna, please forgive me. Please, I will not do this again. Sincerity in that action, sincerity in that lamentation, but move forward in chanting, engaging all time in serving Gurudev and Krishna. Move forward. All the while, he should continue worshipping me with firm faith, conviction, and love. Krishna is saying. While he's condemning, lamenting, all the while, he should continue worshipping me. Not that, oh, now this happened, oh, everything is gone. Krishna, I can't worship you anymore. I became contaminated. I became pure. I should give up now. No chanting, no service, no hearing. Everything is done. No, Krishna said, no, don't worry, Mahashucha. Worshiping me with firm faith, conviction, and love. Bas, continue this. He writes the word Dida Nishchaya in this shloka. Shraddhalu Dida Nishchaya means whether I am attached to home, etc., or not, or whether that attachment increases. If millions of obstacles enters my bhajan, if due to offenses I have to go to hell, or even if I am overpowered by lust, I will not accept the process of jnana, karma, and yoga under any circumstances, even if Lord Brahma himself ordered me to do so. So high statement Krishna is saying. In other words, see the what's another word for opposite word for importance. Uh, the gravity of Krishna's words, the prominence of bhakti over karma, jnana, and yoga. You understand? Because, see, I'm repeating again. Because I have book for me, it's easy to understand. You're only hearing, so that's why I'm repeating again and again. Okay. Whether I'm attached to home, etc., or not, or whether that attachment increases. If millions of obstacles enter my bhajan, if due to offenses I have to go to hell, or even if I am overpowered by lust, I will not accept the process of jnana, karma, and yoga under any circumstances, even if Lord Brahma comes and order me to do so. You do this? No. I will only take shelter of bhakti yoga. I will only take shelter of my Krishna. I will only take shelter of his devotion. That's it. No other atonement is required from the perspective of Gyan, Karma, or Yoga. No. Bhakti enough. Bhakti itself is enough to solve this issue. Those who have such determination are called Dida Nishchaya, or unflinching determination. That's the spirit. Unflinching determination. Further, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur quotes Krishna as saying, now what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, even if those persons who engage in one-pointed, unwavering bhajan of me are badly behaved, still they should be considered saintly because their engagement is righteous in every respect and all beautiful. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is commenting on the words of Krishna. The meaning of the word Suduracharaha must be understood properly. The behavior of a conditioned soul is of two types. One is conditional and other is constitutional. Okay, so do we have time for this? No, I think we have tomorrow in continuation of this. Very interesting topic. And the next verse after this also. Because now Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is commenting and now he is explaining what is the meaning of improper behavior, Sudurachar. And then he's further giving his commentary for us to understand, to the better understanding of this verse spoken by Krishna. Shri Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Tomorrow, 29th.